Good morning, Bucknutters. Welcome to the Bucknuts Morning 5 here on Wednesday, April 19th, 2023. I am Dave Biddle. Very happy joined by Brian Schottenstein and Bill Lewis from The Foundation. Gentlemen, such a pleasure to have you on the show. Brian, welcome back. Bill, it's great to meet you, sir. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, Dave.
It's fun. In the Zoom age, or we should say StreamYard age, like meeting somebody counts in this age. All right, let's get into it. You guys, this is going to be massive tomorrow night. The Spring Festival. I mean, it's a who's who of who's who. Before I name everybody that's going to be there, let's get into how many tickets have been sold, Brian, and how many tickets are left, and how can people still buy tickets for this amazing event?
So honestly, we're almost sold out. So if you do want to buy tickets, I would go online to thefoundationohio.com, type in Spring Festival, and buy your ticket. I think we have maybe a dozen left to sell. So it's a sellout crowd. We're going to have different areas of the Schottenstein Center, the concourse, the boardroom, and then everybody's going to go on the floor, which actually has the ice down. But it'll be a really nice night. We have both Coach Day, Coach Holtmann there, over 30 athletes. All the coaches on football and basketball are now going to be there. And it's going to be a fundraiser for the student athletes just on football and basketball. And also the cheerleaders, multiple DJs. We have games, and a big component of it is charity, because we are a nonprofit. So we're going to have Special Olympics there and a kid again in Lifetown.
And that's one of the great things. We'll get into more of this later, but it's one of the great things about you guys being a nonprofit is anybody who donates to the foundation, whether you buy a table or buy a ticket or just donate to the foundation in general, it's all tax exempt. So we're going to get into that more later, but I want to go through the who's who as promised. So as you mentioned, Ryan Day is going to be there. Chris Holtmann will be there. So I'm going to go through the players. Cardale Jones will be there. I don't know how Cardale got an invite, to be honest with you. How did Cardale get that? Yeah, he knows people, doesn't he? Oh, wait, he's a co-founder. All right, Troy Smith, Santonio Holmes, Evan Turner, Emeka Egbuka, Bruce Thornton, TreVeyon Henderson, Miyan Williams, Denzel Burke, Julian Fleming, Marvin Harrison Jr., Carnell Tate, Jelani Thurman, Noah Rogers, Malik Hartford, Jermaine Matthews, Zed Key, Brice Sensabaugh, Jihad Carter, Mike Hall Jr., Jack Sawyer, Tommy Eichenberg, Steele Chambers, CJ Hicks, Tyleik Williams, Lathan Ransom, Kyle McCord, and more, I'm told. Brian, this is ridiculous. Bill, this is ridiculous. You guys are like this is like the best event I've seen for an Ohio State event.
It really is. I mean, it's the ultimate Buckeye experience to have that many players in one room, and both coaches and the entire coaching staff is going to be there as well. We have all the football coaches and all the basketball coaches that aren't even on that list. You know, Brian Hartline, Larry Johnson, they're all coming. So we're really excited about it, along with on the basketball side with Diebler and Nettie and the other guys.
Bill, let's get your thoughts on basketball, man. I know like you're kind of the head of that part of the merger. Got a couple really good transfers lately, and the basketball team's looking like it's on the way up. Your thoughts on just everything that's going on the NIL side with Ohio State men's basketball?
Yeah, I think we've matured. We wanted to get a little older. We got a 5-year guy from Minnesota. Has some pretty good stats. He had better stats the year before, but he showed that he can shoot about 40% from 3-point. The guy we got out of Baylor backed up 2 guards from Baylor that are actually going into the NBA draft this year. So we know he's got a lot of great experience. And then of course we got the number 5 recruiting class, in the country. So I feel pretty good about the team. I actually felt good about the team last year. Went to the Bahamas with them and also went to Hawaii. And I think we just got in a freshman rut, to where you just couldn't get them out of it. We were so young. We had Suing, who's kind of the Hawaii guy. He's pretty loose, and he was one of the captains. And I think we needed more strict captains. And as far as talent wise, I think everybody'd agree we had the talent last year. We just didn't kind of put it all together.
Yeah, and all the guys are great people, and on football and basketball, we've never had any issues dealing with them. Our goal is to raise as much money as we can from Buckeye Nation. And again, we are a nonprofit, so everything you donate is tax deductible. And we're doing a lot of recurring donations. We have perks for large donors called our Founders Club. So we have a lot of different opportunities to interact with the players, whether it's at practice or dinners. And we want to make this fun for Buckeye Nation. That's what it's all about. And on the football side, have the 5th recruiting class in basketball. Right now, we're number 1 in football. So I think we're adding a lot of value here, not only when it comes to the incoming players, but also retaining the players, because you're not seeing the players hit the portal like you are in some other schools.
Yeah, Bill, going through some of those players on basketball, it gets me excited because we saw Bruce Thornton and Roddy Gale become who we thought they would be at the end of the season. And now going into their sophomore year, it's exciting. Felix Okpara as well. I'm excited about this basketball team next year. We'll get into more of that later. Brian, Coach Day seems very, very pleased with how things are going on the NIL front. Talking to him 5 months ago, he's kind of like, you could tell there was some consternation there. Like he seems very pleased now by some of the things like obviously you guys are doing and just overall, as you mentioned, number 1 recruiting class in football, number 5 in basketball. Coach Day seems pleased. I'm sure Coach Holtmann's pleased. Speak more about that if you would, please.
I think we've done a really good job across the board on football and basketball. It's not easy in the NIL world. I mean, Cardale Jones and our team talks to the recruits. We're able to tell them what we do with some of the current players and how our fundraising has been and the different businesses that we work with in the community, because we do work with businesses too. Even though we're a nonprofit, they can still donate. And then we have the charities work with the businesses as well, like we've done in the past. And it's been a really good first year. We just got our first year under our belt. And I'm really glad we were in place, because if the foundation now, together with Bill and his team, wasn't in place, there's no way that our recruiting classes and our current players would be successful, not just on the field, but off the field, because we've really helped them off the field. And then they give back to the community. So it's a win-win.
Just for the Buckeye fans that don't know, Bill, you have an extremely impressive resume. If you don't mind, sir, I meant to tell you this ahead of time. Go through a little bit what you've done, both with the Department of Defense and everything that you've done in your successful entrepreneur career. I just want to know the Buckeye Nation and Bucknutters to know a little bit about your background, Mr. Lewis.
Oh, thank you. I'm retired Department of Defense, worked at the Pentagon, was over the East Coast for logistics. As I was working with the government, I started a couple businesses, national businesses. One of them was National Entertainment Network that I recently exited. And I also did a management takeover of Smart Cart, which are the carts in the airports. We were 93% of the airports in the world. Did that and then had an exit on that one. I've owned several businesses and got quite a bit of real estate here in Columbus. I'm a Columbus guy, South Ender. Was a pretty good athlete and blew my knee out twice in high school. So in the 70s and 80s, that wasn't good. So decided to go out and start making money, and always been a big Buckeye supporter. And I think we're going in the right direction. I mean, this NIL is the wild, wild west. As you know, it's a hard platform right now. And the one thing I'll say about Ohio State is they're going at it the right way. We've got rules and regulations we got to follow. The coaches follow it. And I think we got it going in the right direction.
Well, having guys like you is awesome. That's why it's going in the right direction. A few more things and we'll get you guys out of here. Again, Spring Festival tomorrow, 5:30 to 8:30 at the Schott. Buy tickets. There's only like 12 left, as Brian said. All right, Brian, I'm going to ask you, what are you most pleased about so far with everything you guys are doing? And what area still needs work, in your opinion? What do you want to start with? That needs work.
I'm really pleased about how we created this brand, a year ago. And I think it's really well known throughout Buckeye Nation. It's been a lot of work. We're dedicating our lives to this, our time, our money. It's very expensive for us to do this. And we're volunteering. All of our board members are volunteering. We probably would like to hire someone to help run it, because I think we need to do that to take it to the next direction. But it's very rewarding because I'm such a big Buckeye fan, and I just want to see us win, and I want to see the kids give back to the community, the athletes. If we didn't have the community service part of it, and it wasn't a nonprofit, I wouldn't be interested in. I'm not doing this to make money or for profit. I'm doing this because I want to win. And I want the student athletes to give back to Columbus and Ohio. And that part's been very rewarding. But we've been very successful in the first year. We've helped support over 40 athletes on football and basketball. We just partnered with Learfield. So now we are official partner of The Ohio State University and the only nonprofit supporting just football and basketball. So that was a big move. You saw our ad at the spring game, and we're going to be doing more with them throughout the football and basketball season. So, I guess what I would say is I want to have more events for the fans in the second year, and I want to really reach out to all of Buckeye Nation as much as we can, whether you can give $1 or $10,000 or whatever the number is. Everything goes directly to the student athletes, and you're helping us be successful on the field and in court and off.
Suffice to say, you're happy with how things are going with the spring festival as far as ticket sales?
Oh yeah, sales have been great. We have a lot of business support that are going to be there, and we're really looking forward to what I think is going to be one of the best Buckeye events of all time.
And this is for both of you gentlemen. The merger, I mean, it's awesome that you guys merged. I mean, it just makes so much sense. The O Foundation merged with the foundation, so you guys now are together. All of the money, all of the brains are together. I love that. Bill, we can start with you, then we can go to Brian. Just your thoughts on the merger. How did that come together, and your thoughts so far?
Well, it just really made sense. And Brian and I were working together anyways. And we actually work with another guy, Zach Beebe, who is a for-profit, but he's more of the marketing side when we get some of these kids in advertising and all that.
Cardale.
The biggest thing in Cardale, the biggest thing is, too, we don't want to mix up the fan. I mean, really, there should be one nonprofit. I mean, because the fan doesn't know who to give to. Do we give to this guy? Do we give to this guy? We want to make it easy. A click, you give money. And that's that, so there's no mix up. There's no, giving to the wrong person. We're here, we're not making money. You're getting a tax break. Actually, I'm going to go over a little bit of this at our event on kind of how everything works. But I think we got a pretty smooth transition of a merger, and we're looking forward to some big things, some golf tournaments coming and a few other great things.
Yeah, Brian, just your thoughts on the merger, and I know I've asked you this before, but just to ask you again, just how did it come about, and your thoughts on how it's going so far?
Well, we're really team players, and we both had the same goals, just to help out the Ohio State, football and basketball players. And Bill and I were already talking about all the deals that we were doing with basketball, because we were helping basketball out as well. And Ron Stokes, who was Bill's partner in this, and they got Evan Turner and a great board, and we had more of a football board with Urban Meyer and different players, JT Barrett and some different former players. So I just was like, let's work on this together. Let's be team players here. Let's do whatever we can to make the best football and basketball programs possible. And it just made sense. And Ron Stokes is great. I mean, he's been to more basketball games than probably anybody in the world. I think he's announced 27 straight years he hasn't missed a game. So
he's a
he knows
legend
about basketball. He's a great communicator, and he's a great person. And I'm really proud to call Bill and Ron my close friend.
That's 100% true. That needs some shout outs need to go out to Ronnie, Evan Turner, Mike Conley,
D'Angelo Russell,
Twiggler. I always say his name wrong, but Chris O'Shaughnessy. But Evan Conley,
Reichardt's been great. We couldn't do it without everybody's help.
Some of us cut 6-digit checks, so
and more.
I tell everyone it's not a smart business when you're donating your time, and at the end of everything, you're also writing a check.
This is why Buckeye Nation should love you guys for doing that. Did you hear what he just said? He's not only donating his time and gathering other people who can donate their time and money, he's also donating his money. You guys are doing great stuff. As you mentioned, Brian, as I wanted to mention again, it's nonprofit, so it's tax exempt. Get into that a little bit and why that's so important for people.
Well, it's really important because I don't see any individual ever giving to a for-profit entity or a for-profit collective, because you don't get the tax deduction, which is part of the benefit. And not only that, is we have, every time we pay a student athlete, they have to do a charitable deal. So they have to go to Lifetown and work with the kids again. So that's like, you're not only helping out the student athlete, but then they're helping out the charity. So it's a big win-win, which we like. And businesses can donate too. We had, the largest deal to date for Ohio State was CJ Stroud and with DSW and Value City Furniture. And that was a pretty public deal. And we had the kids go to autograph sessions at DSW stores. And there's just so many different things we can do. So businesses can donate and individuals can donate, and they still get a tax deduction and marketing out of it. So we're really the perfect place to donate. When you're going to the games and you're buying drinks and buying suite tickets or club seats or anything, tailgating, none of that money goes to the student athletes. None of it. Even the jerseys. I think Cam Bapp's mother told me he got like $50 in jersey sales or something. So like they don't get any. Yeah, total. So if you want to support the student athletes, you donate to the foundation and we make sure that they get taken care of. That's really the only avenue to get them paid. So that's why we're so important. And every dollar, we have recurring donations. You can go on right now for $25 a month, get a chance to have dinner with Cardale Jones. We're auctioning that off at the end of this month. You could do tours of Woodley Hayes facility. So there's so many different levels of giving, whether you're a recurring donor or you're a major business.
Another thing to really know is this isn't willy-nilly. We vent everything we're doing, and then everything is brought up with the board and it's signed off of. It's not me and Brian or Cordell or anybody like that just going out and making decisions. We try to make educated decisions and spend the money in the right way.
Correct.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. Brian Schottenstein, Bill Lewis, thank you so much. You guys are doing great things. Thank you so much for your time, gentlemen.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Go Bucks.
Go Bucks. Thanks again to Brian. Thanks to Bill. Thanks to all of you for tuning in. We appreciate it very much. Hope everyone has a great rest of your day, and make sure you buy tickets for the Spring Festival tomorrow night, Bucknutters. Thanks again, guys.